Welcome back. I'm Sage, and this is Easy English with Sage.
Oh, wow. Okay. So today we're diving into something really special. I'm actually so excited about this. We're talking about C1 to C2 Advanced English Pronunciation. Oh, that's interesting. And you know what? This isn't just about fancy words or sounding like a textbook. No. This is about speaking clearly, confidently, like a true professional. Let me think. When you speak English at an advanced level, people listen differently. They take you seriously. They understand you perfectly. And that's exactly what we're going to practice together today, right here, right now. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Sage, I understand English pretty well, but when I try to speak, I freeze. I translate in my head. I feel scared. Wow, that's so common. And you know what? That's exactly why we're here. Because speaking confidently isn't about being perfect. It's about practicing, bit by bit, until your mouth remembers the words and your brain stops overthinking. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a beautiful journey through advanced pronunciation. We'll practice real words, real phrases, real sentences that professionals use every single day. And I'm going to be right here with you, guiding you, encouraging you, helping you feel that English can flow naturally from your lips. Before we start, do me a favor. If you're excited to level up your English pronunciation, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for Easy English with Sage. Seriously, it helps you stay motivated, and it reminds you to come back tomorrow and practice again. Because consistency, my friend, that's the real secret to fluency. All right. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. Let's begin. When people hear advanced pronunciation, they often imagine complicated sounds or tongue twisters that make no sense. But here's the truth. Advanced pronunciation is about clarity. It's about choosing words that express exactly what you mean and saying them with confidence and natural rhythm. Let me show you what I mean. A basic speaker might say, "My day was good." Okay, that's fine. But a more advanced speaker might say, "My day was productive." Ooh, do you feel the difference? Productive means you got things done. It's specific. It's clear. And an even more advanced speaker might say, "My day felt fulfilling." Wow, that's nice. Fulfilling means it gave you a sense of meaning and purpose. Now let's practice together. Say it with me. My day felt fulfilling. Again, my day felt fulfilling. One more time. My day felt fulfilling. Beautiful. See how your mouth moved? See how the word fulfilling has that smooth L sound and that gentle ending? That's the kind of natural rhythm we want. Now, let's try another upgrade. Instead of saying "I'm tired," which is totally okay, try saying "I'm exhausted" or "I'm drained." Exhausted is more physical, like your body is completely empty of energy. Drained can be physical or emotional, like someone or something has taken all your energy away. Repeat after me. I'm completely drained today. Again, I'm completely drained today. One more time. I'm completely drained today. Good. Now let's put it into a real-life situation. I'm drained after a long week of work. Again, I'm drained after a long week of work. One more time. I'm drained after a long week of work. Nice work. That already sounds more natural and mature, doesn't it? Okay, here's a quick question for you. If you're practicing with me right now, if you're actually saying these words out loud, type yes in the comments below. I want to see you. I want to know you're here with me, really practicing, not just watching, because speaking is a muscle, and we build it through repetition. All right, let's talk about emote. Because fluent English isn't just about facts and information. It's about being emotionally accurate. Native speakers constantly choose words that match the intensity of what they're feeling. For example, let's look at anger. We have these words: annoyed, irritated, frustrated, furious. They're all connected to anger, but the level changes, right? Annoyed is small, like someone is chewing loudly and it bothers you a little. Irritated is similar, but maybe a bit stronger. Frustrated is when things aren't working and you feel controlled anger, often used in professional settings. And furious? Wow. Furious is intense. That's when you're really, really angry. Let's practice with some sentences. Repeat slowly with me. I'm slightly irritated by the noise. Again, I'm slightly irritated by the noise. One more time. I'm slightly irritated by the noise. Now this one. I'm frustrated because nothing is working. Again, I'm frustrated because nothing is working. One more time. So I'm frustrated because nothing is working. Now the strongest one. He was furious when he heard the news. Again, he was furious when he heard the news. One more time. He was furious when he heard the news. Excellent. Notice how your voice changes naturally when the word changes. That's C1, C2 speaking right there. You're not just saying words, you're communicating feeling. Now, let's upgrade 3 very common emotions using advanced but real everyday vocabulary. Happy can become relieved, delighted, or elated. Sad can become disappointed, heartbroken, or devastated. Surprised can become amazed, stunned, or astonished. These are all normal words you'll hear in films, podcasts, and real conversations. They're not fancy or fake. They're just more precise. Let's practice with context so your brain remembers them. Repeat after me. I felt relieved when it was over. Again, I felt relieved when it was over. One more time. I felt relieved when it was over. Again, I was delighted to see you again. One more time. I was delighted to see you again. Now the strongest one. I was absolutely elated when I got the message. Again, I was absolutely elated when I got the message. One more time. I was absolutely elated when I got the message. Great. Now, let's practice sadness. I was disappointed with the result. Again, I was disappointed with the result. One more time. I was disappointed with the result. Stronger. I felt heartbroken when they left. Again. I felt heartbroken when they left. One more time. I felt heartbroken when they left. Strongest. She was devastated after the breakup. Again. She was devastated after the breakup. One more time. She was devastated after the breakup. Now, surprise. I was amazed by how fast it happened. Again. I was amazed by how fast it happened. One more time. I was amazed by how fast it happened. Stronger. I was stunned by the price. Again. I was stunned by the... And one more. I was genuinely astonished by his response. Again. I was genuinely astonished by his response. One more time. I was genuinely astonished by his response. Excellent work. Tell me in the comments, which sentence was your favorite so far? I'm curious. Let me think. One of the most important C2 skills is understanding nuance. Nuance means small differences in meaning that change the feeling of a word. Two words can be similar, but not identical. For example, confident and arrogant. Confident is positive. You believe in yourself in a healthy way. Arrogant is negative. You think you're better than everyone else, and you show it in an unpleasant way. Same general idea, but totally different attitude. Let's practice. He sounds confident during meetings. Again, he sounds confident during meetings. One more time. He sounds confident during meetings. Now, he sounded arrogant when he said that. Again, he sounded arrogant when he said that. One more time. He sounded arrogant when he said that. Good. Here's another nuance pair. Careful and meticulous. Careful is normal. You pay attention and try not to make mistakes. Meticulous means extremely detailed, almost perfectionist, like every tiny thing matters. Repeat. She's careful with her money. Again, she's careful with her money. One more time. She's careful with her money. Now, she's meticulous about her work. Again, she's meticulous about her work. One more time. She's meticulous about her work. Beautiful. That one word changes the entire picture in your listener's mind, doesn't it? Now, let's train some C2 conversational upgrades. These are polite, natural, and very common. Instead of I don't know, try I'm not sure, or I'm not entirely sure, or I can't say for certain. Instead of I don't like it, try it's not really my thing, or it doesn't appeal to me. Repeat after me. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Now, it doesn't really appeal to me. Again, it doesn't really appeal to me. One more time. It doesn't really appeal to me. Now we're going to combine fluency with real-life opinion. It's thought-provoking, but it's not my taste. Again, it's thought-provoking, but it's not my taste. One more time. It's thought-provoking, but it's not my taste. Wow, that's nice. That sentence is powerful because it sounds like a real person thinking, not a textbook. Now, try this advanced phrase that native speakers love in discussions. It's open to interpretation. Repeat. It's open to interpretation. Again. It's open to interpretation. One more time. It's open to interpretation. Now, in a full sentence, the ending was open to interpretation. Again, the ending was open to interpretation. One more time. The ending was open to interpretation. Good. You're already speaking with C2 rhythm. Calm, clear, and confident. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily practice. It helps you stay motivated. Seriously, hit that button if you haven't already. Now, a quick upgrade exercise. I'll say a basic word. You upgrade it in your mind, then repeat my advanced version out loud. Good becomes impressive. Repeat, that's impressive. Again, that's impressive. One more time. That's impressive. Bad becomes unacceptable. Repeat, that's unacceptable. Again, that's unacceptable. One more time. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Interesting becomes intriguing. Repeat, that's intriguing. Again, that's intriguing. One more time. That's intriguing. Busy becomes occupied. Repeat, I'm occupied at the moment. Again, I'm occupied at the moment. One more time. I'm occupied at the moment. Nice. If you can do these small upgrades automatically, your English starts to sound fluent without effort. Now let's lock in what you've learned with a short, shadowing paragraph. Listen once, then repeat with me. Today felt fulfilling. Even though it was exhausting, I stayed focused, handled what I needed to handle, and by the end of the day, I felt relieved. I'm a bit drained now, but I'm proud of myself. That progress is real. Now repeat slowly with me. Today felt fulfilling. Even though it was exhausting, I stayed focused, handled what I needed to handle, and by the end of the day, I felt relieved. I'm a bit drained now, but I'm proud of myself. That progress is real. That progress is real. One more time with confidence. Today felt fulfilling. Even though it was exhausting, I stayed focused, handled what I needed to handle, and by the end of the day, I felt relieved. I'm a bit drained now, but I'm proud of myself. That progress is real. Great. Keep going. Your brain is already shifting into English mode. All right, quick break. Did you subscribe yet? I'm watching you. Ha ha ha. Seriously, though. It helps you remember to come back tomorrow and practice again. And trust me, daily practice is what transforms your English from good to absolutely fluent. Now let's move into vocabulary that makes you sound calm, capable, and professional in everyday situations. Not stiff, not robotic, just naturally fluent. And remember, the goal is not to collect fancy words. The goal is to use the right word at the right time with the right tone. Let's start with a word that advanced speakers use constantly. Effective. Many learners say good or works well. Native speakers often say effective. Repeat after me. That's an effective strategy. Again, that's an effective strategy. One more time. That's an effective strategy. Now pair it with a common real-life phrase. This approach is more effective than the old one. Again, This approach is more effective than the old one. One more time. This approach is more effective than the old one. Good. Now, let's connect it with another word you already know. Efficient. Effective means it achieves the result. Efficient means it does it without wasting time, money, or energy. Repeat. We need a more efficient solution. Again, we need a more efficient solution. One more time. We need a more efficient solution. Now, the system is efficient, but it's not very effective. Again, the system is efficient, but it's not very effective. One more time. The system is efficient, but it's not very effective. That sentence shows C2 thinking. You're comparing ideas with precision. Now, let's add one word that instantly raises your level in professional English. Implement. Implement means to put a plan into action. Repeat. We need to implement these changes. Again, we need to implement these changes. One more time. We need to implement these changes. Now, in a workplace context, they implemented a new policy last month. Again, they implemented a new policy last month. One more time. They implemented a new policy last month. Perfect. Now let's add a phrase that sounds extremely natural in meetings and discussions. Moving forward. It means from now on, in the future, after this point. Repeat. Moving forward, we need to be more organized. Again, moving forward, we need to be more organized. One more time. Moving forward, we need to be more organized. Now combine it with implement. Moving forward, we'll implement a clearer system. Again, moving forward, we'll implement a clearer system. One more time. Moving forward, we'll implement a clearer system. Excellent! Now let's move into one of the most useful C1, C2 verbs, address. To address a problem means to deal with it directly. Repeat. We need to address this issue. Again, we need to address this issue. One more time. We need to address this issue. Now a more polite version. I'd like to address a concern. Again, I'd like to address a concern. One more time. I'd like to address a concern. Good. This is the kind of phrase you can use at work, in emails, even in serious conversations with friends. Now, let's talk about a word that helps you sound thoughtful and balanced. Perspective. Repeat. From my perspective, that makes sense. Again, from my perspective, that makes sense. One more time. From my perspective, that makes sense. Now, a very common advanced sentence. I understand your perspective, but I see it differently. Again, I understand your perspective, but I see it differently. One more time. I understand your perspective, but I see it differently. That is polite disagreement. That is real-life fluency. Ooh, that's interesting. Now we'll practice a few disagreement phrases that are strong but respectful. These phrases help you sound mature and calm, not emotional or aggressive. Repeat. I see what you mean, but I'm not fully convinced. Again, I see what you mean, but I'm not fully convinced. One more time. I see what you mean, but I'm not fully convinced. Now, that's a fair point. However, I have a different view. Again, That's a fair point. However, I have a different view. One more time. That's a fair point. However, I have a different view. Now one more. Slightly more formal. I can appreciate that argument, but I disagree with the conclusion. Again, I can appreciate that argument, but I disagree with the conclusion. One more time. I can appreciate that argument, but I disagree with the conclusion. But I disagree with the conclusion. Excellent. If you can use these naturally, people will treat you like an advanced speaker, not because the words are complicated, but because your tone is controlled and clear. If you're still with me, type yes in the comments. I want to see you here. Now, let's move to words that help you express complexity. Unclear, confusing, complicated. At C1, C2, you often want to say something is not clear without sounding rude. A perfect word for that is ambiguous. Repeat. The message was ambiguous. Again. The message was ambiguous. One more time. The message was ambiguous. Now, put it into a fuller sentence. His response was ambiguous, so I wasn't sure what he meant. Again, his response was ambiguous, so I wasn't sure what he meant. One more time. His response was ambiguous, so I wasn't sure what he meant. Good. Now, another useful word. Clarify. Repeat. Could you clarify what you mean? Again. Could you clarify what you mean? One more time. Could you clarify what you mean? Now, an even more advanced version that sounds natural in meetings. Could you elaborate on that? Repeat. Could you elaborate on that? Again. Could you elaborate on that? One more time. Could you elaborate on that? And now, in a full sentence. Could you elaborate on your point a little? Again. Could you elaborate on your point a little? One more time. Could you elaborate on your point a little? Great. That phrase is one of the most useful C2 upgrades you can learn. It's polite, professional, and common. Now, let's move to a word that describes the way you communicate. Articulate. Articulate means to express ideas clearly and smoothly. Repeat. She articulated her ideas very clearly. Again, she articulated her ideas very clearly. One more time. She articulated her ideas very clearly. Now in first person, because you need it for real life. I'm trying to articulate what I mean. Again, I'm trying to articulate what I mean. One more time, I'm trying to articulate what I mean. That is a powerful sentence. Fluent speakers use it when they're thinking out loud. Now, we'll add a few words that make your English sound emotionally intelligent. Considerate, inconsiderate, empathetic. Considerate means thoughtful toward others. Inconsiderate means not thoughtful, rude without caring. Empathetic means you understand and share other people's feelings. Repeat. That was very considerate of you. Again. That was very considerate of you. One more time. That was very considerate of you. Now, that comment was a bit inconsiderate. Again, that comment was a bit inconsiderate. One more time. That comment was a bit inconsiderate. Notice how it sounds honest, but not aggressive? That is advanced communication. Now, empathetic. Repeat. She's very empathetic. Again, she's very empathetic. One more time. She's very empathetic. Now in a fuller sentence. He listened in an empathetic way. Again, he listened in an empathetic way. One more time. He listened in an empathetic way. Great. Now we connect empathy with real conversation. I understand how you feel. That must be difficult. Again, I understand how you feel. That must be difficult. One more time. I understand how you feel. That must be difficult. Now, let's upgrade one more common phrase. Instead of I think, fluent speakers often say, I believe, I feel, I'd argue, I'd say, or in my view. Repeat, in my view, this is the best option. Again, in my view, this is the best option. One more time. In my view, this is the best option. Now, I'd argue that consistency matters more than speed. Again, I'd argue that consistency matters more than speed. One more time. I'd argue that consistency matters more than speed. That sounds like C2. Calm, clear, persuasive. Now, let's do a short shadowing paragraph using the words you've practiced. Listen once, then repeat with me. Moving forward, we need a more effective plan. The current system is efficient in some ways, but it isn't always effective. We should address the main issue first, clarify expectations, and implement changes step by step. From my perspective, that approach is practical and realistic. Now repeat with me slowly. Moving forward, we need a more effective plan. The current system is efficient in some ways, but it isn't always effective. We should address the main issue first, clarify expectations, and implement changes step by step. From my perspective, that approach is practical and realistic. One more time with confidence. Moving forward, we need a more effective plan. The current system is efficient in some ways, but it isn't always effective. We should address the main issue first, clarify expectations, and implement changes step by step. From my perspective, that approach is practical and realistic. Excellent. You're building the language of real conversations, work conversations, serious conversations, and thoughtful daily life conversations. Tell me in the comments, which word or phrase do you want to use more in real life? I'm really curious to know. Good. Stay with me. This is where your English starts to feel less like studying and more like becoming a fluent person who can express real life in real time. Now, we're going to shift into vocabulary for personal growth. Mindset and everyday challenges. Because, let's be honest, most of our conversations aren't about perfect grammar. They're about work stress, family issues, decisions, confidence, motivation, and how we handle life. And at C1, C2, the goal is to describe these things with nuance, not dramatic, not exaggerated, just accurate. Let's begin with a common feeling many learners experience: overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means you have too much to handle at once. It can be work, emotions, responsibilities, everything. Repeat after me. I feel overwhelmed right now. Again, I feel overwhelmed right now. One more time. I feel overwhelmed right now. Now let's upgrade it slightly, because fluent speakers often soften the tone. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment. Again, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment. One more time. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment. Good. Now a word that many advanced speakers use when stress becomes long-term. Burned out. Burned out means you're mentally and physically exhausted from continuous pressure. Repeat. I think I'm getting burned out. Again. I think I'm getting burned out. One more time. I think I'm getting burned out. Now, in a real context, I've been working non-stop and I'm starting to feel burned out. Again, I've been working non-stop and I'm starting to feel burned out. One more time. I've been working non-stop and I'm starting to feel burned out. Great. Now, here's a powerful C1, C2 skill. Instead of only describing the problem, you describe your response to it. For that, we use words like cope, manage, and handle. Repeat. I'm trying to cope with the stress. Again. I'm trying to cope with the stress. One more time. I'm trying to cope with the stress. Now, I'm managing as best as I can. Again, I'm managing as best as I can. One more time. I'm managing as best as I can. And one more. I can handle it. I just need time. Again. I can handle it. I just need time. One more time. I can handle it. I just need time. Now, let's add two words that instantly sound mature. Resilient and perseverance. Resilient means you recover after difficulty. Perseverance means you keep going even when it's hard. Repeat. I'm more resilient than I used to be. Again. I'm more resilient than I used to be. One more time. I'm more resilient than I used to be. Now, perseverance matters more than motivation. Again, perseverance matters more than motivation. One more time. Perseverance matters more than motivation. Wow, that's nice. That sentence is true in life and in language learning. Now, let's talk about a word fluent speakers use all the time when things go wrong. Setback. A setback is a delay or a problem that slows your progress, but it doesn't stop you permanently. Repeat. This is a setback, not a failure. Again, this is a setback, not a failure. One more time. This is a setback, not a failure. Now say it like you mean it. It's frustrating, but it's just a temporary setback. Again, it's frustrating, but it's just a temporary setback. One more time. It's frustrating, but it's just a temporary setback. Good. That is real adult English. Calm but honest. Now, let's add another useful word. Obstacle. An obstacle is something in your way. It can be a problem, a person, time, money, fear, anything. Repeat. I'm facing a few obstacles right now. Again. I'm facing a few obstacles right now. One more time. I'm facing a few obstacles right now. Now, we'll find a way around this obstacle. Again. We'll find a way around this obstacle. One more time. We'll find a way around this obstacle. Great. Now, at advanced levels, you also learn to describe your inner state, not just external problems. Let's practice 3 subtle words: hesitant, apprehensive, and uncertain. Hesitant means you pause because you're not sure. Apprehensive means you're nervous about something that might happen. Uncertain means you don't know what will happen. Repeat each one. I'm hesitant to make a decision. Again, I'm hesitant to make a decision. One more time. I'm hesitant to make a decision. Now, I'm apprehensive about the outcome. Again, I'm apprehensive about the outcome. One more time. I'm apprehensive about the outcome. Now, I'm uncertain about what comes next. Again, I'm uncertain about what comes next. One more time. I'm uncertain about what comes next. Good. These words are not rare. They're real, and they help you sound emotionally precise. Now, let's add a calm, healthy word that fluent speakers use in modern daily conversation. Mindful. Mindful means aware, present, intentional, not rushing through life on autopilot. Repeat. I'm trying to be more mindful. Again, I'm trying to be more mindful. One more time. I'm trying to be more mindful. Dot, dot. Now in a full sentence. I'm being mindful of my time and energy. Again, I'm being mindful of my time and energy. One more time. I'm being mindful of my time and energy. Beautiful. That sentence sounds natural in daily life conversations, especially when people talk about routines, health, and priorities. Now, another word that helps you sound grounded and mature. Prioritize. Repeat. I need to prioritize what matters. Again, I need to prioritize what matters. One more time. I need to prioritize what matters. Now make it real. Right now, I'm prioritizing my health and my family. Again, right now, I'm prioritizing my health and my family. One more time. Right now, I'm prioritizing my health and my family. Good. Now let's address something almost everyone struggles with: procrastination. To procrastinate means to delay what you should do. Repeat. I keep procrastinating. Again, I keep procrastinating. One more time. I keep procrastinating. Now, a stronger, more natural sentence. I'm procrastinating because I feel overwhelmed. Again, I'm procrastinating because I feel overwhelmed. One more time. I'm procrastinating because I feel overwhelmed. That's an important idea. Many people procrastinate not because they're lazy, but because the task feels too big. Now we'll practice a word that helps you sound accountable and honest. Take responsibility. Repeat. I need to take responsibility for my choices. Again, I need to take responsibility for my choices. One more time. I need to take responsibility for my choices. Now, let's connect it with a very natural phrase. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm taking responsibility. Again, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm taking responsibility. One more time. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm taking responsibility. That is advanced communication. Calm, clear, emotionally intelligent. Now, quick interaction. If you relate to any of these words, overwhelmed, burned out, setback, procrastinating, comment one word below. Just one word. It helps you remember, and it tells me what you need most. Now, let's bring all of this into a short real-life scene, the way fluent speakers actually talk. Listen first. Lately, I've been feeling overwhelmed. I've taken on too much, and I can feel myself getting burned out. I know it's a setback, but this doesn't define me. I'm trying to be more mindful. Prioritize what matters and stop procrastinating. Step by step, I'll handle it. Now, repeat with me slowly, line by line. Lately, I've been feeling overwhelmed. I've taken on too much, and I can feel myself getting burned out. I know it's a setback, but it doesn't define me. I'm trying to be more mindful, prioritize what matters, and stop procrastinating. Step by step, I'll handle it. One more time with stronger rhythm. Lately, I've been feeling overwhelmed. I've taken on too much, and I can feel myself getting burned out. I know it's a setback, but it doesn't define me. I'm trying to be more mindful, prioritize what matters, and stop procrastinating. Step by step, I'll handle it. Excellent. That sounded like real life, not like a textbook. Now, before we continue, if this lesson is helping you, like the video and subscribe to Easy English with Sage. It sounds simple, but it keeps you consistent. And consistency is how C2 is built. Perfect. Now we're going to make your English more vivid and more natural in everyday storytelling. Because fluent speakers don't only speak correctly, they speak in pictures. They make you see what they mean. And this is where C1, C2 vocabulary becomes powerful. Not because it's complicated, but because it's precise and alive. Let's start with 3 extremely common advanced adjectives that native speakers use all the time. Impressive, remarkable, and outstanding. Impressive means it makes a strong positive impact. Remarkable means it's unusual in a good way, worth noticing. Outstanding means exceptionally good. Repeat after me. That's impressive. Again, that's impressive. One more time. That's impressive. Now, that's remarkable. Again, that's remarkable. One more time. That's remarkable. Now, her performance was outstanding. Again, her performance was outstanding. One more time. Her performance was outstanding. Good. Now, let's take a basic sentence and upgrade it. Basic, the food was good. Advanced, the food was delicious. More advanced, the food was incredible. Repeat the most natural version first. The food was delicious. Again, the food was delicious. One more time. The food was delicious. Now the stronger version. The food was incredible. Again, the food was incredible. One more time. The food was incredible. Nice. Now let's add nuance. Because at C1, C2, you learn to be accurate, not doctor. Sometimes the food is not incredible. Sometimes it's just decent. Sometimes it's underwhelming. Underwhelming means it didn't meet expectations. It was disappointing, but not terrible. Repeat, it was a bit underwhelming. Again, It was a bit underwhelming. One more time. It was a bit underwhelming. Now put it into a full sentence. The movie was a bit underwhelming, to be honest. Again, the movie was a bit underwhelming, to be honest. One more time. The movie was a bit underwhelming, to be honest. That sentence sounds like a real native speaker. Soft, honest, clear. Now let's learn a word that advanced speakers love for describing strong interest. Compelling. Compelling means so interesting or convincing that it pulls your attention. Repeat. That was a compelling story. Again, that was a compelling story. One more time. That was a compelling story. Now in a fuller sentence. His argument was compelling. Again, his argument was compelling. Good. Now, let's pair it with a word that adds detail. Intricate. Intricate means detailed and complex with many connected parts. Repeat. The plot was intricate. Again, the plot was intricate. One more time. The plot was intricate. Now combine the two. The story was compelling because of its intricate details. Again, the story was compelling because of its intricate details. One more time. The story was compelling because of its intricate details. Excellent. Now, another word you will hear constantly in real conversations. Overwhelming, but in a positive way. Overwhelming can be negative, like stress, but it can also mean too strong to ignore in a positive sense, like emotion or support. Repeat. The support was overwhelming. Again, the support was overwhelming. One more time. The support was overwhelming. Now, a natural sentence. I was overwhelmed by how kind everyone was. Again, I was overwhelmed by how kind everyone was. One more time. I was overwhelmed by how kind everyone was. That's a beautiful sentence, very human. Now, let's move into descriptive words for atmosphere, words people use to describe places, moments, and feelings. These words are perfect for everyday conversations and storytelling. 3 words: cozy, peaceful, and hectic. Cozy means warm, comfortable, relaxing. Peaceful means calm and quiet. Hectic means busy and stressful. Repeat. It feels cozy in here. Again, it feels cozy in here. One more time. It feels cozy in here. Now, it's so peaceful right now. Again, it's so peaceful right now. One more time. It's so peaceful right now. Now, it's been a hectic week. Again, it's been a hectic week. One more time. It's been a hectic week. Good. Now, upgrade peaceful to a more advanced word. Serene. Serene means calm and peaceful in a quiet, almost beautiful way. Repeat. The morning felt serene. Again, the morning felt serene. One more time. The morning. Now another similar word. Tranquil. Repeat. It was quiet and tranquil. Again, it was quiet and tranquil. One more time. It was quiet and tranquil. Great. These words are common in storytelling, travel talk, and everyday reflection. Now, let's practice a very natural C2 skill, describing change over time with words like gradually and eventually. Repeat, gradually things got better. Again, gradually things got better. One more time, gradually things got better. Now, eventually, it all made sense. Again, eventually it all made sense. One more time, eventually it all made sense. Good, now let's add a beautiful real-life phrase native speakers use when they accept a situation. It is what it is. Repeat, it is what it is. Again, it is what it is. One more time, it is what it is. Now soften it slightly. It is what it is, but we'll figure it out. Again, it is what it is, but we'll figure it out. One more time, it is what it is, but That is very natural modern English. Now we'll practice storytelling connectors. At advanced levels, you don't just list events, you connect them smoothly. 3 connectors: honestly, to be fair, and the thing is. Repeat each one naturally. Honestly, I didn't expect that. Again, honestly, I didn't expect that. One more time. Honestly, I didn't expect that. Now, to be fair, he tried his best. Again, to be fair, he tried his best. One more time. To be fair, he tried his best. Now, the thing is, it's more complicated than it looks. Again, the thing is, it's more complicated than it looks. One more time. The thing is, it's more complicated than it looks. Excellent. These are real conversation tools. Use them and you instantly sound more fluent. Now, a quick interaction. Comment one word that describes your week: hectic, peaceful, serene, or underwhelming. Just one word. It helps you practice using vocabulary in real context. Now let's bring everything into a short, vivid story. Listen first. Honestly, this week has been hectic. Work has been non-stop, and by the end of each day, I felt drained. But yesterday morning, I woke up early, made coffee, and sat by the window for a few minutes. It was quiet and tranquil. The sky looked soft, and the whole moment felt serene. To be fair, it didn't solve all my problems, but it helped. Gradually, I'm learning to slow down. Eventually, things will feel more balanced. It is what it is, and I'll figure it out. Now repeat with me, line by line. Honestly, this week has been hectic. Work has been non-stop, and by the end of each day, I felt drained. But yesterday morning, I woke up early, made coffee, and sat by the window for a few minutes. It was quiet and tranquil. The sky looked soft, and the whole moment felt serene. To be fair, it didn't solve all my problems, but it helped. Gradually, I'm learning to slow down. Eventually, things will feel more balanced. It is what it is, and I'll figure it out. One more time with smoother flow. Honestly, this week has been hectic. Work has been non-stop, and by the end of each day, I felt drained. But yesterday morning, I woke up early, made coffee, and sat by the window for a few minutes. It was quiet and tranquil. The sky looked soft, and the whole moment felt serene. To be fair, it didn't solve all my problems, but it helped. Gradually, I'm learning to slow down. Eventually, things will feel more balanced. It is what it is, and I'll figure it out. Beautiful. That sounded like real English, Real life, real rhythm. Great. Now we're moving into social English. How to sound confident, polite, and natural with real people. Because at C1, C2, fluency isn't just vocabulary. It's timing. It's tone. It's how you soften your words, how you show respect, how you sound warm without sounding fake. And the best part is, these phrases are not rare. Native speakers use them every day. Let's begin with a simple but powerful skill, making conversations sound friendly and smooth. Instead of saying, "What?" you can say, "Sorry, what was that?" Or, "Could you say that again?" Repeat after me. "Sorry, what was that?" Again. "Sorry, what was that?" One more time. "Sorry, what was that?" Now, "Could you say that again?" Again. "Could you say that again?" One more time. "Could you say that again?" Now, an even more polite version. "Would you mind repeating that?" Again. "Would you mind repeating that?" One more time. "Would you mind repeating that?" Good. Now let's practice a phrase that makes you sound calm and respectful when you don't understand. "I'm not sure I follow." Again. "I'm not sure I follow." One more time. "I'm not sure I follow." Now add a soft request. "I'm not sure I follow. Could you clarify?" Again. "I'm not sure I follow. Could you clarify?" One more time. "I'm not sure I follow. Could you clarify?" That is extremely natural, especially in professional settings. Now, let's shift to agreeing politely, because agreement is more than just yes. Repeat these. "I completely agree." Again. "I completely agree." One more time. "I completely agree." Now, a more thoughtful version. "That makes perfect sense." Again. "That makes perfect sense." One more time. "That makes perfect sense." Now, a strong advanced phrase. "I couldn't agree more." Again. "I couldn't agree more." One more time. "I couldn't agree more." Great! Now we practice gentle disagreement the way fluent speakers do it. Instead of, "No, you're wrong," we use soft language. Repeat. "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree." Again. "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree." One more time. "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree." Now, that's one way to look at it. Again. That's one way to look at it. Again. That's one way to look at it. One more time. That's one way to look at it. Now, "I get what you're saying, but I see it differently." Again. "I get what you're saying, but I see it differently." One more time. "I get what you're saying, but I see it differently." Perfect. Those phrases help you sound mature and emotionally intelligent. Now, let's practice social confidence, expressing opinions without sounding aggressive. A very common C2 structure is, "to be honest, in my opinion, personally, if you ask me." Repeat each one. "To be honest." Perfect. "I'm not a fan." Again. "To be honest, I'm not a fan." One more time. "To be honest, I'm not a fan." Now, in my opinion, it's worth trying. Again. "In my opinion, it's worth trying." One more time. "In my opinion, it's worth trying." Now, personally, I'd choose the other option. Again. "Personally, I choose the other option." One more time. Personally, I'd choose the other option. Now, if you ask me, that's the best decision. Again, if you ask me, that's the best decision. Nice. Now let's learn a phrase that helps you sound polite when you want to change the topic or redirect a conversation. That reminds me. Repeat. That reminds me, I wanted to ask you something. Again. That reminds me, I wanted to ask you something. One more time. That reminds me, I wanted to ask you something. Now, a phrase that sounds friendly when you want to interrupt gently. Sorry to interrupt, but again. Sorry to interrupt, but one more time. Sorry to interrupt, but. Now finish it naturally. Sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a quick question? Again. Sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a quick question? One more time. Sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a quick question? Excellent. Those are real-life phrases you can use at work, at school, anywhere. Now, let's practice making a request politely. Many learners sound too direct, not because they're rude, but because they translate directly from their native language. A very natural structure is would it be possible to, or do you happen to know, or I was wondering if. Repeat after me. Would it be possible to reschedule? Again. Would it be possible to reschedule? One more time. Would it be possible to reschedule? Now, do you happen to know where the nearest cafe is? Again, do you happen to know where the nearest cafe is? One more time. Do you happen to know where the nearest cafe is? Now. I was wondering if you could help me with something. Again. I was wondering if you could help me with something. One more time. I was wondering if you could help me with something. Perfect. That sounds natural and polite, not stiff. Now, let's practice a phrase that fluent speakers use constantly. I appreciate it. Repeat. I really appreciate it. Again. I really appreciate it. One more time. I really appreciate it. Now, I appreciate your help. Again. I appreciate your help. One more time. I appreciate your help. Now, another common phrase. That means a lot. Repeat. That means a lot. Again. That means a lot. One more time. That means a lot. Great. Now, let's build a short social scene using these phrases. This is where your vocabulary becomes real. Listen first. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a quick question? I'm not entirely sure I follow what you mean. Could you clarify? Okay, that makes sense. I see your point, but I might look at it differently. In my opinion, it's worth trying at least once. And honestly, I appreciate you explaining it. That means a lot. Now repeat with me slowly. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a quick question? I'm not entirely sure I follow what you mean. Could you clarify? Okay, that makes sense. I see your point, but I might look at it differently. In my opinion, it's worth trying at least once. And honestly, I appreciate you explaining it. That means a lot. One more time, smoother and more natural. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but can I ask a quick question? I'm not entirely sure I follow what you mean. Could you clarify? Okay, that makes sense. I see your point, but I might look at it differently. In my opinion, It's worth trying at least once. And honestly, I appreciate you explaining it. That means a lot. Excellent. That is social fluency. Warm, clear, respectful. Now, quick comment prompt. Which phrase do you want to use more in real life? I'm not sure I follow. I couldn't agree more. Or, I was wondering if. Comment one of them below. Good. Now we're going to train the language of thinking and decision making. The kind of English you use when you're choosing, planning, explaining, and reflecting. This is one of the biggest differences between intermediate and advanced speakers. Intermediate speakers say, I don't know, maybe, I think. Advanced speakers still say those sometimes, but they also have a wider range of calm, precise phrases that show clear thinking. Let's start with a simple, common verb. Consider. Repeat after me. I'll consider it. Again. I'll consider it. One more time. I'll consider it. Now, a more natural version. Let me think about it. I'll consider it. Again. Let me think about it. I'll consider it. One more time. Let me think about it. I'll consider it. Good. Now, another common verb. Decide. But at C1, C2, we often say, make a decision. Repeat. I need to make a decision. Again. I need to make a decision. One more time. I need to make a decision. Now soften it. I'm still trying to make a decision. Again. I'm still trying to make a decision. One more time. I'm still trying to make a decision. Great. Now, let's add a very natural phrase fluent speakers use constantly. Weigh the options. It means to compare choices carefully. Repeat. I'm weighing my options. Again. I'm weighing my options. One more time. I'm weighing my options. Now in a sentence. Before I decide, I want to weigh the options. Good. Now, another important verb, evaluate. Evaluate means to judge the quality or value of something based on information. Repeat. We need to evaluate the situation. Again. We need to evaluate the situation. One more time. We need to evaluate the situation. Now a real-life sentence. I'm trying to evaluate what's best for me. Again. I'm trying to evaluate what's best for me. One more time. I'm trying to evaluate what's best for me. Nice. That sounds mature and natural. Now, let's add a word that's extremely useful at C1, C2. Reasonable. Reasonable means fair, logical, and realistic. Repeat. That seems reasonable. Again. That seems reasonable. One more time. That seems reasonable. Now the negative version. That doesn't seem reasonable. Again. That doesn't seem reasonable. One more time. That doesn't seem reasonable. Good. Now let's learn a phrase that helps you sound calm when you don't want to decide immediately. I'm not ready to commit. I'm not ready to commit yet. See that? Again, I'm not ready to commit yet. One more time. I'm not ready to commit yet. Now a softer version. I'm not ready to commit. I need more time. Again, I'm not ready to commit. I need more time. One more time. I'm not ready to commit. I need more time. Excellent. That phrase is very common in real adult conversations about jobs, plans, relationships, anything. Now we'll practice a word that helps you express mixed feelings. Ambivalent. Ambivalent means you feel two opposite things at the same time. Interested but nervous, excited but unsure. Repeat. I feel ambivalent about it. Again, I feel ambivalent about it. One more time. I feel ambivalent about it. Now, in a full sentence. I feel ambivalent. Part of me wants to do it, but part of me is hesitant. Again, I feel ambivalent. Part of me wants to do it, but part of me is hesitant. One more time. I feel ambivalent. Part of me wants to do it, but part of me is hesitant. Great. That is C2 emotional accuracy. Now, let's add two very practical phrases for decision making: pros and cons, and trade-off. Pros and cons means advantages and disadvantages. A trade-off means you gain one thing but lose another. Repeat. I'm thinking about the pros and cons. Again, I'm thinking about the pros and cons. One more time. I'm thinking about the pros and cons. Now. There's always a trade-off. Again, there's always a trade-off. One more time. There's always a trade-off. Now connect them. I've weighed the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off either way. Again, I've weighed the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off either way. One more time. I've weighed the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off either way. Excellent. That sounds like a fluent adult speaker explaining a real decision. Now, let's practice a phrase fluent speakers use when they want to make something clear. To be clear. Repeat. To be clear, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Again, to be clear, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. One more time. To be clear, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Now, a phrase for adding context. That being said. Repeat. That being said, I still have concerns. Again, that being said, I still have concerns. One more time. That being said, I still have concerns. Now, a phrase for conclusion. At the end of the day. Repeat. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. Again, at the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. One more time. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. These phrases are extremely common. You'll hear them in meetings, interviews, podcasts, everyday life. Now, quick interaction. Comment this sentence below exactly as it is to practice typing and remembering it. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. Just copy it into the comments. That practice helps you lock it in. Now let's build a short decision-making story. Listen first. I'm weighing my options right now. I've considered a few paths, but I'm still trying to make a decision. To be clear, I'm not afraid of hard work. That being said, I want to choose something reasonable and sustainable. I've weighed the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off either way. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. Now repeat with me line by line. I'm weighing my options right now. I've considered a few paths, but I'm still trying to make a decision. To be clear, I'm not afraid of hard work. That being said, I want to choose something reasonable and sustainable. I've weighed the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off either way. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. One more time, smooth and confident. I'm weighing my options right now. I've considered a few paths, but I'm still trying to make a decision. To be clear, I'm not afraid of hard work. That being said, I want to choose something reasonable and sustainable. I've weighed the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off either way. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for me. Excellent. That is real, fluent reasoning in English. You know what, my friend? If you're still here with me right now, I just want to say, I'm so proud of you. This isn't easy. Most people quit when learning becomes slow. But you're still here. You're still practicing. You're still growing. And that tells me everything I need to know about you. You're committed. You're serious. You're going to become fluent. So before we continue, do one thing for me. Like this video right now and subscribe to Easy English with Sage, because consistency, showing up every single day, even for just 10 minutes, that's what changes everything. All right, let's keep going. We're not done yet. Now we're moving into one of the most useful areas of C1, C2 English, describing people, personality, and behavior. Because in real life, we talk about people all the time. Coworkers, friends, family, customers, teachers, strangers. And advanced English gives you the words to describe them accurately, without being rude, without being dramatic, and without sounding childish. Let's start with a simple idea. Reliable. Reliable means someone you can trust to do what they say. Repeat after me. He's very reliable. Again, he's very reliable. One more time. He's very reliable. Now, she's reliable. I can count on her. Again, she's reliable. I can count on her. One more time. She's reliable. I can count on her. Good. Now let's add a more advanced word that's extremely common. Dependable. Dependable is basically the same as reliable, but it often sounds slightly more formal. Repeat. He's dependable. Again, he's dependable. One more time. He's dependable. Now in a full sentence. She's a dependable colleague. Again, she's a dependable colleague. One more time. She's a dependable colleague. Great. Now, let's move to a word that's very useful in professional and social situations. Considerate. Considerate means thoughtful and respectful of others. Repeat. That was very considerate of you. Again, that was very considerate of you. One more time. That was very considerate of you. Now the opposite. Inconsiderate. Repeat. That was a bit inconsiderate. Again, that was a bit inconsiderate. One more time. That was a bit inconsiderate. Notice how a bit softens the sentence. Advanced speakers do that naturally. They communicate clearly without sounding aggressive. Now, let's talk about confidence in personality, because this is a word many people misuse. Assertive. Assertive means confident and clear without being rude. Repeat. She's assertive in meetings. Again, she's assertive in meetings. One more time. She's assertive in meetings. Now compare it to aggressive. Aggressive often means too strong, too forceful, not respectful. Repeat, he's aggressive when he disagrees. Again, he's aggressive when he disagrees. One more time, he's aggressive when he disagrees. Now say this sentence, 'cause it shows real C2 nuance. He's assertive, not aggressive. Again, he's assertive, not aggressive. One more time, he's assertive, not aggressive. Excellent. That's a clean pause. Clear distinction. Now, let's learn words that describe someone's way of thinking. Analytical and perceptive. Analytical means logical and detailed. Perceptive means you notice things others miss. Repeat. She has an analytical mind. Again, she has an analytical mind. One more time. She has an analytical mind. Now, he's very perceptive. Again, he's very perceptive. One more time. Very perceptive. Now, put perceptive into a natural complement. That's a very perceptive observe. Again, that's a very perceptive observation. One more time. That's a very perceptive observation. Great. Now another word similar to perceptive, but more strategic. Astute. Astute means smart in a practical way. You notice opportunities. You make smart moves. Repeat. That was an astute decision. Again. That was an astute decision. One more time. That was an astute decision. Now describe a person. He's an astute businessman. Again. He's an astute businessman. One more time. He's an astute businessman. Good. Now, let's move into emotional intelligence words. Empathetic and supportive. Empathetic means you understand other people's feelings. Supportive means you help people emotionally or practically. Repeat. She's very empathetic. Again. She's very empathetic. One more time. She's very empathetic. Now, he's really supportive. Again. He's really supportive. One more time. He's really supportive. Now combine them. She's empathetic and supportive. Again, she's empathetic and supportive. One more time. She's empathetic and supportive. That phrase sounds natural and positive. Now we practice describing negative behaviors politely. This is important. Fluent speakers often criticize softly, especially in professional situations. Instead of calling someone lazy, you can say unmotivated. Instead of saying rude, you can say inconsiderate. Instead of saying crazy, you can say irrational or unreasonable, depending on the context. Let's practice carefully. He seems unmotivated lately. Again, he seems unmotivated lately. One more time. He seems unmotivated lately. Now, that was an irrational response. Again, that was an irrational response. One more time. That was an irrational response. Now, that request is unreasonable. Again, that request is unreasonable. One more time. That request is unreasonable. Good. Notice how these sound mature, not emotional? Now let's add a word that's extremely useful in real life. Trustworthy. Repeat. She's trustworthy. Again. She's trustworthy. One more time. She's trustworthy. Now in a full sentence. He's trustworthy, so I told him the truth. Again, he's trustworthy, so I told him the truth. One more time. He's trustworthy, so I told him the truth. Now we'll practice a phrase that helps you describe someone without sounding too absolute. Advanced speakers often avoid extreme statements like he is always this. They use softer language like tends to, seems to, comes across as. Repeat each one. He tends to overthink. Again, he tends to overthink. One more time. He tends to overthink. Now, she seems a bit reserved. Again, she seems a bit reserved. One more time. She seems a bit reserved. Now, he comes across as confident. Again, he comes across as confident. One more time. He comes across as confident. These phrases make you sound balanced and fair. Whoa. Now, quick comment prompt. Choose one word to describe yourself today. Reliable, assertive, analytical, perceptive, empathetic, or supportive. Comment one word below. This is practice, and it also tells me who you are. Now, let's put everything into a short description of a person. The way you might talk about a coworker or friend. Listen first. She's a dependable person. She's reliable, trustworthy, and very considerate in meetings. She's assertive, but never aggressive. She has an analytical mind, and her comments are often perceptive. Honestly, she's also empathetic and supportive, which makes people feel comfortable around her. Now repeat with me, line by line. She's a dependable person. She's reliable, trustworthy, and very considerate in meetings. She's assertive, but never aggressive. She has an analytical mind, and her comments are often perceptive. Honestly, she's also empathetic and supportive, which makes people feel comfortable around her. One more time, smoother. She's a dependable person. She's reliable, trustworthy, and very considerate in meetings. She's assertive, but never aggressive. She has an analytical mind, and her comments are often perceptive. Honestly, she's also empathetic and supportive, which makes people feel comfortable around her. Excellent. That's real, natural, advanced English. My friend, we've been on quite a journey today, haven't we? We've practiced advanced pronunciation, emotional vocabulary, social phrases, decision-making language, describing people. So much. And you've been here with me the whole time. I want you to remember something important. C1 to C2 English isn't about speaking fast. It's not about showing off. It's about speaking naturally. It's about choosing the right words at the right time. It's about tone. It's about clarity. It's about depth. And you have already proven something today. You stayed, you practiced, you repeated. You trained your ear and your voice. Most people don't do that, but you did. So here's what I want you to do next. This is a simple challenge that will build real fluency. Choose 5 words from today. Only 5. Use them in one short paragraph about your day. Write it in the comments below, or say it out loud to yourself, or record it on your phone. Just practice using those words in real life. For example, today I was pressed for time, but I tried to stay focused. There was an issue with my schedule, so I needed a workaround. Nevertheless, I built momentum and finished what mattered most. Looking back, I'm grateful because every small effort helps me grow. That's it. 5 words, 1 paragraph, real life. And remember, fluency isn't built in one big moment. It's built in small moments like this, when you keep going, when you practice, when you don't give up. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for choosing to practice instead of scrolling. You're building something real. You're building a new level of confidence. Keep going. Keep practicing. Even 10 minutes a day can change your English. In the long run, your future self will thank you. This is Sage from Easy English with Sage, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep shining, keep learning, and keep speaking with confidence. Goodbye, my friend.